Spurgeon's Bible College closes after 169 years due to funding loss. After 169 years of shaping Christian leaders, a cornerstone of British theological education has crumbled. And the reasons behind its collapse raise urgent questions about the future of faith-based institutions. Spurgeon's College in London, founded by the famed 19th-century preacher Charles Spurgeon in 1856, has abruptly closed its doors following a sudden withdrawal of critical funding. This decision, announced on July 31st, marks the end of an era for one of the UK's most revered evangelical training centres. But here's where it gets controversial. Was this the inevitable result of shifting societal values, or a failure to adapt to modern challenges in theological education? The college's Board of Trustees described the closure as a heart-wrenching necessity, driven by financial insolvency. For years, declining student enrollment and a shrinking pool of donors had left the institution in a precarious position. A recent partnership with a charitable foundation initially offered hope, providing stability and reassuring regulators like the Office for Students. However, that lifeline vanished overnight when the foundation unexpectedly terminated its support on July 21, 2025. Imagine the shock of administrators, students, and alumni who had briefly dared to hope the college might survive. Now, they're left grappling with a legacy that once trained thousands for ministry, missions, and leadership. Many theological schools are facing similar struggles, the trustees explained in a statement, citing a complex and increasingly difficult financial landscape. This isn't just about money. It's about a broader cultural shift. As secularism grows and fewer young people pursue formal theological training, institutions like Spurgeon's are forced to ask, can traditional models of faith education survive in a world that often prioritizes practical skills over spiritual calling? And this is the part most people miss. The closure wasn't a single event, but the culmination of years of incremental decline, made irreversible by one final blow. The immediate focus is now on students and staff. Though the trustees admit their hands are tied, we've worked tirelessly to find a sustainable path forward, they stated, acknowledging the profound shock this news will bring. Alumni, however, are already sharing heartfelt tributes on social media. Gary Hayes, a graduate from the late 1990s, called his time at Spurgeon's a life-changing experience that helped him move beyond rigid literalism. Richard Sargent, who studied there in the 1970s, described it as a transformational journey, shaping his decades-long ministry. These stories highlight a truth. The college's impact isn't measured in buildings or budgets, but in the lives it irrevocably changed. Charles Spurgeon himself, known for his fiery sermons on the gospel, founded the institution to train ministers without charge, believing every church needed skilled leaders. In its early years, Spurgeon's graduates planted 53 Baptist churches in London alone. Today, the college's closure feels like the loss of a bridge to that pioneering spirit. Yet some, like Glenn Cartwright, argue that its influence will endure. Prayer and discernment will guide us through this. He wrote, urging gratitude for the decades of service. Still, the questions linger. Is funding the real problem, or is deeper theological education becoming obsolete? Should these institutions? The end of an era. Spurgeon's College closes after 169 years. In a heart-wrenching announcement, the Board of Trustees of Spurgeon's College has revealed that, after an impressive 169 years of dedicated service, the institution will cease operations immediately. This news is not just a closure. It marks the end of an era for a college that has played a pivotal role in theological education. Like many educational establishments, especially those focused on theology, Spurgeon's College has been grappling with severe financial difficulties for several years. These challenges have been exacerbated by a noticeable decline in student enrollment and an increasingly complicated financial environment that has made sustainability a daunting task. Recently, the college had entered into a partnership with a charitable foundation that was expected to provide essential financial backing and assurances of ongoing support to both the college and the Office for Students. However, in a shocking turn of events, this partnership was abruptly terminated on July 21, 2025. Consequently, the college found itself unable to maintain its financial operations, leading to the unavoidable decision to initiate the insolvency process. At this critical juncture, our foremost concern is to safeguard the interests of our students and staff as much as possible during this incredibly challenging period. We recognize that this announcement will come as a significant shock to many. The trustees, leadership, and staff of Spurgeon's College have devoted immense effort and dedication to finding a viable path forward, striving to avert this unfortunate outcome. Established in 1856 by the renowned Charles Spurgeon, the college has been a beacon of hope and training for thousands of individuals pursuing Christian mission, ministry, and leadership in today's world. Each graduate represents a piece of the rich legacy left by our founder, and embodies the college's unwavering commitment to theological education and Christian service. Throughout its long history, God has blessed the college in remarkable ways. We urge everyone to pray for divine guidance during this difficult time so that future generations of men and women can continue to be equipped for Christian ministry. It is with heavy hearts that we convey this news, and we extend our heartfelt gratitude to all who have supported Spurgeon's College throughout its storied existence. Spurgeon's College closure. What happened? What's next for Baptist students? A sudden jolt to Britain's Baptist family. Spurgeon's College, long considered the heartbeat of Baptist ministerial training, has entered insolvency almost overnight. Founded in 1850, the South London institution has, for generations, equipped preachers, pastors, and evangelists whose influence can be traced in pulpits and mission fields across the world. Yet a single, unexpected event tipped the balance. A key charitable benefactor withdrew support at short notice, creating a funding gap so large that rescue efforts proved impossible. The Baptist Union of Great Britain (BUGB) was informed and explored options, but ultimately acknowledged that it could not marshal the level of finance required in the narrow window available. The college has been a cornerstone of our ministry and mission, the BUGB trustee board said, adding that the extent of Spurgeon's legacy is immeasurable. The board expressed deep sorrow for staff and students abruptly caught in the fallout, and stressed that supporting those students now tops its priority list. Practical measures are already in motion. The union is liaising with other Baptist colleges and regional associations to locate alternative study pathways for anyone enrolled or recently accepted at Spurgeon's. An online information hub has been launched on the Baptists Together website, and a specially funded student support center will guide individuals through credit transfers, new placements, and ongoing ministerial formation. But here's where it gets controversial. Spurgeon's operated as an independent legal entity, and BUGB's trustees were not involved in day-to-day governance or fiscal decisions that culminated in closure. Some observers argue that this separation shields the union from blame. Others contend that an institution of such historic importance warranted extraordinary intervention, structural or financial. Where do you stand? Meanwhile, Premier Christian News is committed to telling stories like this one with clarity, accuracy, and biblical conviction. Reader donations empower the newsroom to probe deeper, ask harder questions, and deliver resources that strengthen faith communities. Without that support, the reach and impact of Christian journalism inevitably shrink. Your gift today is not merely a contribution. It's an investment in transformed minds and resilient churches. Support Premier Christian News. https://gizpremier/Premier News General Donate. UTM Campaign, WebGen PN, UTM Medium Referral, UTM Source Premier News, UTM Term General Donate. And this is the part most people miss. Institutional collapses seldom happen in isolation. They ripple through denominations, local congregations, and the wider Christian witness in society. Should the Baptist Union have acted differently? Could stronger safeguards prevent similar crises elsewhere? Share your thoughts. Do you agree, disagree, or see a third way forward?